Hello guys, I'm coming to you with a tutorial on how to put in your graphs for your demographics for your population and culture. Okay, so I already have a couple of pie charts and one population graph already here on my page. And so I'm actually going to put another one on here so you guys can see exactly how this is done for those of you who need to follow step-by-step directions, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and get a new blank slide, so you guys can kind of just see this one by itself. All right, so here we go. First thing you need to do is go to the plus sign. So when you go to the plus sign, menu pops up and you're going to select the pie chart, okay? It looks like a circle. It's got little pieces cut out of it. It's right here. I'm touching it, okay? Once you get there, you'll see that you have all of these different types of pie charts and graphs that you can do. So we're going to start off with just a basic graph for our population. So I'm just going to select this one right here, okay? So there you see, I have this bar graph, but it doesn't have the right information in it. It has April, May, June, and July. And it only has 2 colors, and it doesn't have a title and all of that. So we're going to actually edit this graph so that it represents our population for your particular country. So go back up to the paintbrush, okay? And I'm going to start at chart. And the first thing I want to do is change the color, because I don't want just blues. I think I want a variation of colors: blue, green, orange, and red. But you can actually change the colors any way you want, and I'll show you guys that in a minute. So I'm just going to touch that. Okay. Now you notice that I only have 2 colors down there. Well, I actually have to go in and change the information so that each one of my cities has its own color bar. Okay. And so before I do that, I'm going to actually turn on the title format there, because I want there to be a title for my bar graph, and I'll put that in later. So now I need to go into edit data right there. So this chart pops up for edit data. And I need to change the information so that it matches my information I need for a city. So instead of April, I'm actually going to put city 1. Now remember, you guys are actually going to put whatever the names of your cities are, okay? So I don't know what the names of your cities are, but that's what you're going to put. City 2. City 3, and I'm sorry, I got notifications popping up. City 4, okay? So I have all my cities' names. So you make sure you're going to put your cities' names there. And then regions are basically the colors that are going to go with your city. So right now there's only 2 colors there. I need 4. So under region 2, I'm just going to type region 3. You see how that another color popped up? And then under region 3, I'm going to type region 4. There you go. Now, I have 4 colors to go along with my 4 different cities. So now next thing I need to do is go ahead and get rid of this numbers that are inside of here, because I'm going to change that information. And each one of these little boxes will not have numbers. Okay? So I only want 1 color to go with 1 city. All right? So that means I only need to have a number in 1 box for each one of these cities. So we're going to start with region 1, city 1, okay? And I'm going to say that this city has 10, and we'll talk about how many in a minute. So 10,000, 10 million people, whatever, okay? So that's city 1. Then I'm going to go to region 2, city 2, and they're going to get 15. Then I'm going to go to region 3, city 3, and I'm going to give them 10 too. Like city 1 and city 3 has the same population. Why not? And then city 4 is going to be my capital. And so I'm going to give them 25. All right. So the biggest thing that you have to remember is to make sure that each region city has only one number. Okay, and that's going to give you that nice bar graph. Every city has its own color. So then I'm going to hit done, and voila, there you go. So each city has a color, and then the bar graph is showing you that each city has a different population. Okay, so I'm going to go in and actually change the title, and I'm going to change it to population of cities. Okay, boom. Now on the side here where you see the numbers 26, 19.5, 13, 6.5, I want to change those numbers first of all, but I also want to put down what those numbers represent. Is it the thousands, is it the millions, or what is it? What does that number represent? So once again, I'm going to go up to the paintbrush, and this time I'm going to go to style. And in style, I'm actually going to turn on the axis name under the value y-axis. Boom. Okay. So when I turn that on, I'm going to show you again. Turn that on. Do you notice that the value axis pops up over by my graph? Okay. I'm also going to change the style and the font because I really don't like that. Font. I'm going to make it bold, and I'm going to make it a little bigger, and I'm going to change it to a different font. I don't really care, but yeah, I got to make it bold again. Okay. So I did that. All right. Sorry, that was the bell, guys. Also, what you can do, if you don't want to change the numbers on the side, you actually can go down here where it says series values, and you can actually put the numbers there showing what the percentage of population is for each group, if you would like to do that. Okay. And so I'm going to go ahead and leave that there. You don't have to, but you can if you would like. All right. Okay. So now I'm going to go to data, and I'm going to click on linear. And I'm actually going to change the numbers on the side, the 6.5, 13, 19.5, and 26. I don't like those numbers like that because, you know, my populations, I did it in 10 increments of 5. So I'm actually going to step down, let me see, 1 or 2. I kind of want it to be, I don't know, let me see, automatic, maximum. See, the minimum is 0. The max, I think I'm going to turn that to 25. There we go. I like that better. Max is 25. That way it matches my largest city. Does that make sense? I changed the maximum to 25. That tells me that my bar graph is only going to go up to 25 because that's my largest city has 25 as a number. Okay, so I kind of wanted that to fit better. And then I could still add. Nope, I don't like that. I don't like how it does that, like 12.5. I'm not sure about that. I don't like that at all. Let me see about minimum.
Mr. Surge, could you please come to the office? You have a phone call.
I'm going to change my minimum to 5, I think. I think I want it to be 5. Let's see what it does. Yeah, there we go. I like that better. Okay, so anyway. So I have that done now, okay? But I still need to put this down here. So what is my value that I want? Do I want it to be millions? Do I want it to be thousands? It doesn't matter. You choose. I'm going to put millions. So that means my country just has a lot of folks, okay? My cities are huge. 25 million people living in one city. That's ridiculously crowded, but it is what it is. Okay, so now I have that done. And I'm also going to go back up to the paintbrush, and I'm going to go to style. And let's see, what else do I want to do? going to go to general. Let me see. Do I want gaps? I don't want gaps in between. I don't really want that. I don't really care about that. Rounded corners. If you wanted your graph to have rounded corners, you see how I'm playing with that? You could do that. Grid lines. It's up to you. Do you want your chart to have a border? I don't really care about that. Do you want to have axis lines? I don't really care about that. Okay. Labels, I took care of that. My data is taken care of. Arrange. So I'm going to go to arrange because I want to be able to move my population chart and make it a little smaller to give it space so I can have space for my other graphs. So I'm going to actually turn, well, the constraint properties is already turned off. So if I turned it on, that means it would I'm turning it on. So that means that I can actually, when I move it, it's going to be really funky. So I'm going to change it to turn off so that now, do you see how things kind of go together as I change it? And I can move it right up there, okay? Also, what if you don't like that graph particularly? Like, after I've done it, I really don't like the way it looks. Go back to the paintbrush, go back to chart. So down here where it says chart type, you touch that, you actually can change it. So maybe you want it stacked. Maybe you want it to be a bar graph going that way or stacked going that way. It's up to you. Okay? So I'm going to go ahead and keep it like that because I kind of like that a little better. All right. Next thing I'm going to do now is actually do a pie chart. All right, and so with your task, you've been asked to do 2 more charts, and you can either do a bar or a pie chart for your other 2 demographic pieces. Okay, so it doesn't really matter. It's up to you. But I'm going to show you how to do a pie one really quick. So once again, you go to the plus sign, pick the pie chart. All right, so that's a pie chart. And I'm actually going to make it a little small. All right. So this one, I think I want to do marital status because that's one of the demographics. So single, married, divorce. Okay, so I'm going to go up to the paintbrush once again. I'm going to change the colors because I like the pie graph to have colors. I'm going to give it a title. And I'm actually going to make it bold and increase it a little bit. Now I'm going to go ahead and edit my data. All right. So there, once again, you have the months. I don't want months. I actually want marital status. And as a matter of fact, I only have 3. So I'm going to be deleting some of these columns here because I don't need all of them. So I'm going to put married. I'm going to put single and divorced. Okay, and for here, I'm just going to be deleting these because I don't need these because I only have 3 categories or 3 data points. That's what they're called, categories of data points, okay? And then I'm going to change these numbers too for the married and single so that it looks more like it gets to be 100%. So divorce, I'm going to make that small because, I'm only going to say like 15% of my population is divorced. I want to say 60% of the people are single because maybe they're really young and people aren't married yet. So 60 and 15 make, well, that's a big number for single. Let's try 40. Okay, that's better. So that's 55. So that means 45% of the people are married. Now make sure that equals 100. So 85, yep, okay. So then I'm gonna hit done. So there's my pie chart for marital status, okay? So I'm not quite done. I wanna change the title, right? And I'm gonna change it to marital status, all right? Then I want the information that be inside of the pie graph because right now all you see is the numbers. You don't know what 15 represents, what is 40, what is 45. So I'm going to go back to the paintbrush and I'm going to go to style and I'm going to hit data point names. Okay. I also think I want to change the color that's inside the text. I don't want it to be white. I want it to be black. And I'm actually going to I'm going to make it bold, but I'm going to put the numbers down a little bit. I might want to change the text too. I like Futurama a little bit. I do like Futurama. Yeah, I like that better. Okay. All right. So there I go. So there is my pie chart for marital status. So remember, you're going to do 3 of these. You definitely have to have a population by bar chart that's required. And then you can select from the other demographics that I have listed in Canvas in the assignment, in the task, okay? If you have any questions, concerns, issues, you can always reach out and email me. Okay, good luck with these.